Hey guys, we're talking about topic 2. We're getting into quadratic functions. So let's get right into it. Oh, that's really blurry. I don't like that at all. So basically what we have here is a function, quadratic function. We know that because there's a square to it. F of x equals a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. So this represents a parabola quadratic function if you remember your u. And what we're analyzing right now is what happens to it if we add an h and a k value, okay? So the a, what that part of it is, that tells you whether the shape of the parabola is upward or upside down. It tells you whether it is wider, right, or more narrow, like the look of it, and whether we're stretching it, which in mathematical terms means compression or stretch. And then the h value, that tells you whether the parabola is moving to the left or to the right. That k value is whether you're moving up or down. So let's analyze, let's look. So what's happening here? We have g of x equals negative 1/2 times the quantity x plus 2 squared. So think about it for a second, maybe even write it down, right? What is that negative doing to it? Well, if this is my normal parabola, what would a negative do? Well, probably turn it upside down, right? So that's what you're going to see there. Half, how will that impact it? We're going to look at that in a second. That 2 being inside the parentheses, remember it was minus h. So you want to think about that, minus h. Well, if there's already a minus here, what would the 2 look like, right? Minus, how do I get a plus? I have to have something. So I'm actually going to get out of here. Let's see if this still is working. I think it is. That's where I used to do the screen. All right, so here's my normal parabola, right? So I have this quadratic function. It's with my a value being 1 and my h value being 0 and my k value being 0. So let's say I start moving that h value, right? So here it was. I'm moving it. Now it's half. Now it's 1/4. What do you notice about it, right? Start that compression. Now, if I have 0 for a, that means there's no quadratic. It's just a horizontal line. Now, what is going to happen? Oh, I'm negative, right? And remember, we had negative half, so there we are. And then that h value that was inside, if I turn it into plus 2, it's really going to be a minus 2 because there's already a minus here. So that's moving it to the right. But if I have a minus 2, you remember that's plus 2. And then my h value, we didn't have it, but say we did, say we were moving up 3 or down, you notice how it just moves up or down, okay? So back to the PowerPoint, what's happening here? Right, so this negative turned it upside down. The half made it, it was a compression, it made it wider. That plus 2, it moved it to the left 2. And then nothing outside, it's not up or down at all, right? It doesn't move it up or down. Okay, so write all those facts down. And then this, if you want to just like take a screenshot of it, maybe I'll do without my face. Nope, that's my full face. Hi. God. So it's not moving for me. All right, so I'm trying to hit the button. So here we go. So ignoring me, right? Take a screenshot if you would like of everything that's happening here. It's telling you all about the quadratic function. This is in standard form, and that our parent function is f of x equals x squared. The parabola is what we call the graph of a quadratic function. The vertex, hk is your vertex, and vertex form is useful because it highlights the vertex. It tells you exactly where it is. So if you're looking back at this equation, look at what your hk is. Let's see if I can write. 10. So my hk is the vertex. This is fabulous, huh? Well, the k is nothing. It's out here. So that's a 0. And the h had to be a minus something. So minus a negative 2 gives me that positive. So it's always, the h value is always your opposite. So that's my vertex. You could plot that, and then using your A value, knowing you go upside down and it's half the size, right, opens it half that. All right, so that's what we're talking about. This is just like a little reminder of it. We'll get into some more after that.